Do it. Okay. Eyes up here, looking here. Hello, Mrs. Grasso. This is a subsidiary ledger account. Okay, big word, subsidiary ledger. Okay. This is where your accounts receivable and your accounts payable vendors and customers go. Now, if I look at this, it looks like what we posted to before, agree? Except right here, what does it say? Vendor. And what did it say before that? Do you remember? Account. Account. It really said account. And now it says vendor. Now look right here. What does it say here? Vendor number. What did it say before? Account number. Now, we are going to switch. With our merchandising business organized as a corporation, we are going to have a 4-digit account number. The reason why is because we have a lot more accounts that we have to deal with, and if we use a 3-digit account number, we'll run out of numbers. So, like cash, instead of being 110, would be 1,100. Okay, so we're just adding a 0 at the end. Now, your general accounts are going to have a 4-digit number. Your subsidiary ledgers are going to have a 3-digit account number. Now, this says vendor. Vendor means accounts payable. Look at the number. What does it start with? A 2. Remember, your account numbers always clue you into your classification. Assets start with a 1. Liabilities, 2. Owner's equity, 3. Sales, 4. Purchases, 5. Expenses, 6. Okay? Okay? So when you look at your account numbers, it tells you its classification. So we have now where it says vendor and vendor number instead of account and account number. Now moving across here, date column, that looks exactly the same, agreed? And here, item. Now, we really barely ever use the item column. We'll learn a little bit how we would use it this time, but we don't really use it too much. Post reference. Now, before, we just had one journal. Now, we have multiple journals, so you have to use your abbreviations of the journal with the page number. So S7 would mean Sales Journal, page 7. CR would be Cash Receipts Journal, and then your page number. CP would be Cash Payments. P, Purchases. I can't remember if it's G or J. General Journal. Is it G? G, and then your page number. So this will clue you into the journal and the page number that you're working with for your post reference. Now notice here we have debit and we have credit. We had that before. This over is different though. Notice, we only have one column for our balance. Before we had debit and credit. Now, this is an accounts payable account. Accounts payable have what for normal balance? Credit. We don't have a need for a debit balance column. We're never going to owe our vendor money. Or excuse me, they're never going to owe us money. I said that backwards. So you are only going to have one balance column. Now, if we looked at our accounts receivable, it would have customer, and it would start with a 1. Instead of having a debit balance column, it would say, instead of saying a credit balance column, it would say debit. Now, when we look at our general ledger, we'll have a debit and a credit balance column. So it's the same concept, but they look a little bit different. So we're going to go ahead and view our instructions. We have our partial purchases, cash payments, and general journals for Graphics, Inc. are given below. Also given below are the accounts payable ledger accounts for our selected accounts and a blank form for a schedule of accounts payable. Your instructor will guide you through the following example. Number 1, start a new page for accounts payable ledger account Regal Design. The account number is 240 and the balance on October 1st of the current year is 877. So what they're doing is we need to go to Regal Designs, and we ran out of room on our last ledger, so we have to open it up, and there's a balance. Okay? So I have my ledger open to Regal Designs. I have to fill in my vendor name, which is Regal Designs. My account number is 240. How would we organize our vendors? How would I know what number they are? It is alphabetical. So you would fill them in order to maintain their alphabetical order. Now we have a date. As of October 1st, we have a balance. So under the date column, I'm going to do October 1st. Now, I'm bringing a balance forward. I'm not getting it from a specific spot. So I'm going to go ahead and say balance. Then I'm going to put a V in the post reference to indicate I didn't get it from a journal. And then I'm going to go right to the credit balance. I'm going to put in 877. So anytime they tell you to open up an account with a balance, that's what you do. Instruction number 2 says post the accounts payable credit line on page 7 of the purchases journal. So on the very top, I'm going to open up my purchases journal. I am only posting individually. I am not posting my totals. Individually means I look at my journal and I see what's here and I post to this. So when I look here, do you see where it says Regal Designs? What does it say directly above Regal Designs? Accounts credited. So I have to credit Regal Designs for how much? $1,403.20. As of what date? The 19th. So Regal Designs is open already down below. Just happens to be there. So I'm going to go ahead and put the date of the 19th. Nothing goes in the item column, only when you're opening it up account with the balance. Post reference, I'm going to do P. I can't see my page number. I scrolled too far. 10. I'm going to credit for $1,403.20. Now, it already has a credit balance of $877. So I have to add the two together. When I add them together, I got $2,280.20. Agree? Now, the last step when you post is always what? Your account number goes back on your journal. So I'm going to take my account number 240, and that goes back to my purchases journal. That's instruction number 2, was to post my purchases journal. Now I need to post my cash payments journal. So I'm going to switch my purchases journal to my cash payments. And it tells me that I'm posting line 15. Now, this causes some problems. Line 15. Right here it says account title, and it says electrographic supply. See that? Now when I go across electrographic supply, I'm affecting accounts payable as a debit for 776 and cash credit for 776. What number am I using? It's the same number, I get this, but which column am I using it from? Accounts payable, because this is an accounts payable account. Because in the future, your cash may be different than accounts payable if you have a purchases discount. So you always need to use the number from the accounts payable. So down here in my ledger, switch from Regal Design to electrographic supply. Put the date of the 20th. Post reference is CP for cash payments, 15 for page 15, and I'm crediting it for 776. Now I'm debiting it, sorry, not crediting it. It already had a credit balance of 776. So if I debit it, what's its balance? 0. So notice right here, note, type a 0 in the balance column to indicate a 0 balance. Okay. Last thing I do is take 230, put that back up on my post reference. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to my general journal. On our general journal, guess which lines I'm posting? Line 5 and 6, so the date of the 26th. Now notice line 5 and 6, not date 5 and 6. So when I look here on line 5 of my journal, do you see how this post reference is much bigger now? Eventually, I have to post line 5 twice. I have two accounts. I have the account accounts payable, and I have the account electrographic supply. Those are two completely separate accounts. Right now, in Work Together, they only have us learning how to post to our subsidiary ledger accounts, not to our general ledger. But in the future, you are going to have to post both of them. That's why we had to put that slash in there in the last chapter. So right now, I'm going to go electrographic supply is going to be credited for $2,544. And then I put my post reference back up there. And then I'm going to post line 6, and that's going to go to Art and Things. And Art and Things is going to have the date of the 28th, post reference G11. That is going to be debited $125 because with that journal entry, we return part of our product. Originally had a balance of $873, subtract $125. I have a new balance of $748. Account number 210 goes back up on top. How's that? General Journal, page 11? Here. Your General Journal, and then your page 11 from the General Journal. Now, does this seem hard? There are lots of steps to do. What we're doing right now in Work Together 1 is just posting to our accounts payable subsidiary ledger. So these are all of my accounts payable accounts. Now, we know anytime we do posting, when we're done posting, we have to have a way to prove it. So we have to go through and prepare something called the Schedule of Accounts Payable. It is really easy to do. Okay? A Schedule of Accounts Payable, we list every one of these accounts that has a balance. And then we add it up. Here's the thing. When we add it up, it needs to equal my controlling account. My controlling account is the account accounts payable in the general ledger. And that's where it gets a little confusing. That's why I showed you those two different packets that Peyton had. One is my general ledger and one is my subsidiary ledger. Your subsidiary ledger will always equal the big main account in your general ledger. If it doesn't, somewhere, somehow, you've made a boo-boo and we need to find and fix it. That's one of the things we like about accounting. So your Schedule of Accounts Payable goes in the bottom. Our business name is Graphic Inc. The name of our document is a Schedule of Accounts Payable. And the date is going to be October 30th of the current year. October 31st, yes, not the 30th, because there are 31 days in October. Now, to do our Schedule of Accounts Payable, I start with my first vendor. My first vendor is Art and Things, and it's account number 210. Does it have a balance? Then it goes on here. So I write my account title, Art and Things, and I put its balance, $748. Then I go to my next one. Can Do Graphics. Does it have a balance? Yes. Now notice, Can Do Graphics, it has a line here saying, oh, we should have done something. Did we need to do anything there? No, it's messing with your head. Just because there's a blank line there doesn't mean you need to fill anything in. Its new balance is $986. Then I go to Electrographic Supply. It has a balance, so it goes on here, of $2,544. And then I go to Regal Design. It has a balance, and that has a balance of $2,280.20. Break out your handy-dandy little calculator. We have $748 plus $986. plus $2,544 plus $2,280.20. I get a new balance, or I get a total of $6,558.20. Does anyone agree? Got a couple people? Now, this number, I'm not going to write the word total. I'm not going to write the word totals. I am going to say total accounts payable, because that is the total of all of my accounts. This number is so powerful for me as a business. As of October 31st, Graphics Inc. owed $6,558.20 to all of its vendors. A business needs to know the total amount, but I also need to know what I owed individually. That's why we switched and we're using our controlling account and not. Now, how do I know if I've done this right? Directions. Right here it says the accounts payable account equals $6,558.20. Do these two match? Yes. Then you do your happy dance. Woo, 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 woo. Yay, way to go. Which means you rocked it.